Sri Lanka is under a national emergency tonight after a wave of suicide bombings hit on Easter Sunday. The attacks left 290 people dead, including 4 Americans and 35 other foreigners. The Indian Ocean nation remained tense today as police worked to disarm additional bombs, and some of them went off. A parked van with 3 bombs inside explodes today near the Colombo waterfront. No one was hurt, but it punctuated the Easter Sunday attacks that left Christian worshipers shaken and grieving.
I heard the explosion and then the roof fell on us. We took the children and ran out from the rear door. But when I came to the hospital, I saw my brother-in-law and son on the ground.
People who had come to celebrate their faith's holiest day struggled to help the wounded. Bricks crumbled to the ground in pools of blood. And inside St. Sebastian's Catholic Church, blood stained the statue of Jesus. Today, mothers prepared to bury children. And songs of mourning surrounded caskets. Outside of St. Anthony's Church, grief brought onlookers to their knees. The suicide bombings at 3 churches and 3 luxury hotels were the worst violence in Sri Lanka since a long civil war between majority Sinhalese and ethnic Tamils ended a decade ago, and it left a country asking why. Bhavani Fonseca works at the Center for Policy Alternatives in Colombo.
This is unprecedented in Sri Lanka. I think that needs to be very clearly stated, that in the past, Sri Lanka has gone through decades of violence. The war came to a very brutal end 10 years ago. But when certain incidents happened, there was responsibility claimed.
The government blamed a little-known local jihadist group, National Tawhid Jamaat, saying 6 suicide bombers perpetrated the attacks. Police arrested multiple suspects, and the Prime Minister vowed a swift response.
I would like to express my condolences with the families of the victims and those injured. We will take stern action against all those who are responsible for these attacks, regardless of their stature. We will vest all necessary powers with the defense forces. Let's remain patient during this national crisis.
Sri Lanka's president declared an emergency and gave the military sweeping authority. The government also blocked social media platforms in an effort to stop what it called false news reports.
Whether it was successful.
Amarnath Amarasingam is from Sri Lanka and works with the Institute for Strategic Dialogue in Toronto.
The government took a kind of immediate approach, the only way they knew how, to try to prevent some kind of anti-Muslim violence on the ground.
Sri Lankan officials also confirmed today they had multiple warnings of a terror threat as early as April 4th.
After all, as a government, we are responsible for all that. Whether we know the situation or not know the situation, that's a different matter. Anyway, we are responsible, we are very sorry, and we apologize to everybody.
Christians make up less than 10% of the country's population, which is largely Buddhist, with Hindu and Muslim minorities. But attacks on Christians in Sri Lanka have been relatively rare.
That was quite shocking to see not only this much planning and coordination, but the fact that that much planning and coordination went into targeting Christians, which has never happened in the country before.
2 Muslim groups in Sri Lanka condemned the church attacks today, and President Trump spoke with the Prime Minister and pledged support, including FBI assistance with the investigation.